We're Craig and Kirsty, a British couple who got married on a beach in 2018. And instead of a honeymoon, we decided to travel the world together. And so we created Tied Knot Travellers. We left our home and jobs behind us and boarded a one-way flight. But the global pandemic caused us to rethink our travel plans. So we spent 6 months exploring Estonia. Now we're finally continuing our travels, taking a new route and exploring some of the Greek islands. Between us, we have visited 52 countries, and we'd love you to join us as we continue our travels and explore the world.
So we have come to our last day here in Santorini. After 6 whole weeks, the day has come to depart.
Yeah, we're sad to leave this gorgeous little apartment and our lovely hosts, but we are really excited to hop on a boat and go and see another Greek island. Or so we had hoped to visit the island of Naxos, having booked our tickets in person the day before, but unknown to us, we were about to have our day completely tipped upside down. But we'll get to that a bit later. On our way to Athens.
We've had a fantastic time here. Santorini is absolutely spectacular. It's a beautiful place. Very, very different to any of the other Greek islands, to be honest. Crazy just seeing life on what is essentially a volcano, but it's absolutely stunning and we'd highly recommend coming.
I'm never going to forget all the sunset views over the caldera.
Yeah. Stunning.
Check out our other videos if you haven't seen them because it's just the best views.
Beautiful.
But for now, we're off. Taxi's here, time to get on the boat.
Let's go. Bye apartment, thanks for the memories. Our favourite coffee place coming up.
One more caldera view.
Ευχαριστώ.
Have a nice trip.
Take care.
Thank you for
Arrived at the ferry port. It's a very easy taxi journey, just 10-15 minutes from Vourvalu, and our taxi driver was super friendly. Time to get on the ferry. So Santorini ferry port, not the most peaceful place on the planet. And ferry is nearly here. Ferry's offloaded, time for us to get on. We've had to fill out some forms that we've got to show when we board the ferry, as well as the tickets. Probably have temperature checks, but we'll see how that goes. Done, let's get on.
Tickets and forms.
It is mental in here. Lorries just being driven like go-karts. They chuck them around. I'm amazed no one gets killed. We've just been told to get off the ship.
Thank you so much.
And now there's just been a whole lot of confusion. We showed our tickets to the main ticket guy. He said to get off because we can't go to Naxos, which is fine. And then we got off, spoke to the police. And they said, you're not going to be able to get this ferry, get another ticket. Hello. Get off, you're going to have to get another ticket. So we nearly got run over trying to get on and off the ferry. We had to come back on, get our bags, get off the ferry. And then...
Go to reception to upgrade?
After the departure?
Yes.
Right here,
And then the captain of the ship came off and spoke to us, and amongst all this confusion with the police, traffic pretty much running us over the whole time, big heavy goods lorries, and said you can change your tickets to go to Athens but you can't get off at Naxos. So now apparently we need to go to reception to pay to go to Athens. This is so stressful.
Luckily we've only booked ourselves one night stay in Naxos because we were worried this might happen, and it's refundable, so we can hopefully get that back. So now we're going to be on the ferry and we are going to have to book ourselves accommodation in Athens, which is fine, we're going to go to Athens anyway. COVID-19.
leaving Santorini. You can see it just over my head there. Oya's on this side and the volcano's in the centre. But yeah, thanks for the memories, Santorini. After the craziness of what just happened, we're just eating the cake that Lena and Alex gave us. Thank you so much, it's absolutely delicious.
Yeah, we need some sugar after that stress.
We found ourselves a nice couple of seats in this quiet area. These seats recline all the way back, which we're very happy about because we've got a, I don't know, 8-hour journey? Or 3:30, and then we arrive in Athens at 11:30. So we've got a few hours to burn.
Yeah, we thought we were only going to be on here for a couple of hours to Naxos, but obviously now we're going to be on here until Athens.
And check out these views. The weather's not so pretty necessarily, but it's very dramatic. It looks really spectacular. And that island there is Ios, the one that's enveloped by rain. It's pretty wet out there today. Check this out. It's so quiet. Just a quick update on what happened back there at the ferry port. So we had booked tickets to Naxos, where we were going to spend maybe 2 or 3 nights or so just to see the island while we're in this part of the world.
We booked our tickets yesterday. We went into the office of Blue Star Ferries, booked our tickets in person with our passports. We're in Santorini and we're booking a ticket directly to Naxos.
We were there in person,
and
speaking to the man.
The man let us book the tickets and said it's all fine, and he even printed our tickets off for us. At no point did he say, you're not allowed to do this. It would have been really helpful, given that this is less than 24 hours ago, and we booked them. And then today we tried to get on the ferry and we're told, nope, you can't do that. Why let us book then?
So we arrived, we got on the ferry, we put our bags in the storage place, and we were queuing to show our tickets to the officer checking everyone's tickets.
And then just as I handed the purser our ticket, he just said, where are you going? And I said, Naxos, where it says on the ticket. And he said, why are you going there? And I said, to go to the island. And he just said, no, get off the boat and go and speak to the policeman on land.
Go and speak to the port police.
Okay.
So we then got off the boat, bearing in mind this whole time there's heavy traffic getting on and off. It's chaos, absolute chaos. So that was pretty dangerous.
Huge lorries.
We got off of the boat, they started pulling up the pedestrian ramp, and we're like, hang on a second, our bags are still on the ferry, so we need to come back on. He said, don't worry, you've got 10 minutes or so. Yet he was still pulling up the ramp. And then we went and spoke to another one of the ship's authorities, and we said, we've been told to come off and speak to the port police. And then he then pointed across and said, go over there, bearing in mind
there's huge lorries
going back and forward. So eventually an officer comes over. He wasn't the right officer, so then they called over another one,
and all this time's ticking, and
our bags are still on the boat. And then an officer comes over and says, you can't go to Naxos, you can only get a flight out of here to go home or go straight from Athens. And I said, fine, that's fine. Naxos is a no-go, I appreciate that, but our bags are on the ferry, let us get back on the ferry and we'll pay to go to Athens. He said, no, you can't get on the ferry, you have to go over to an office. Bearing in mind, at the port, all the offices are closed.
I just said, our bags are on there, it's leaving in 15 minutes, can we not just pay the extra and just, because this ferry goes straight from Naxos, so it goes on to Athens, so this is the boat we would get. And he just said, he just looked at us and said, you're not getting back on this boat.
Yeah.
At which point we were like, well, in that case, can we go and get our bags then? And he went, yeah, go get your bags. So we're like running back onto the ferry. We got our bags.
We're going back on the ramp with all this traffic going around us, all these heavy lorries. Got our bags, came off the ferry, went back to that same police officer.
And then the staff captain came over.
The staff captain appeared from nowhere, and they were having a discussion. And there were about 10 people around us.
Yeah, where did they all come from?
All talking to each other in Greek. I have absolutely no idea.
But I could tell the staff captain was. I could see what he was saying, and I was like,
seeing sense.
He basically said in Greek, let these guys back on the boat, and they can just pay to upgrade the ticket to Athens. Boom, and then had to go get our bags back on the boat, and then we just sat there and we just paid an extra 16 euros each just to upgrade us to Athens.
It was very calm once we were on the ferry. Yeah. We came upstairs, I even saw the staff captain again, and he said, are you okay? And I said, yeah, thank you so much for your help. And amongst all the carnage, just fantastic to have that person with some common sense.
Yeah.
to sort it out.
Anyway, enough negativity.
So
we are happy, we're on the boat. We're going to go to Athens. We've got to cancel our Airbnb that we had booked in Naxos, and then we've got to find a new one in Athens.
See what happens, but for now the ship is, I mean, we've got these really
sailed. We're on it at last.
We've got these really comfortable seats, but it's an absolute ghost ship. We've come from Santorini, way off in the distance now, and we went past Ios on the left side of the ferry. Just behind me here, that is Naxos. That's where we were supposed to be staying tonight. If I swing round this way, to the left hand side of the ferry you have Pireas, which going to Naxos we were hoping to see that island for a few days and then go over to Pireas. So to tell you a bit more about the ferry, so over on the west side of Greece, on the Ionian side, you seem to have Levante ferries, which are a newer company on the east side of the Greek mainland, so over here in the Aegean. Blue Star Ferries seem to be the main ferry company. Overall, we've paid about 34 euros per person to get from Santorini, ultimately back to Athens. It's a nice big ferry. Obviously at the moment there's barely anyone on it. There's us and maybe 30 or 40 other passengers. There is free Wi-Fi on board, which there wasn't free Wi-Fi on Levante ferries, so we didn't expect it. The seats are very comfortable. They recline back as well. That is Naxos. We're gonna have to make another trip back to Greece to see it, by the looks of it. The fumes that are being chucked out from the funnel of this ferry. I can see the exhaust and the brown smoke. Ferries just stopping off. This is Naxos, the main town. It looks really beautiful. I can see a castle up on the side of the hill there. Just seems like a little bit of a waste not to be able to get off and stay in Naxos, but we can't get off here. So here at the port in Naxos, I can see there's authorities down there and barriers regulating who gets on and off the ferry, so there's no chance of getting on or off here unless you've got valid reason or authorization. Yeah, it's pretty strict at the moment. It's 7:30 and we've just left Pireas. A few more hours left to Athens, so we've got about 4 more hours. Time to see what the dinner options are. So we just grabbed dinner, and they're very helpful in there actually. The main sommelier guy was really helpful. So I've got chicken fillet and chips and a Fanta lemon. Really love Fanta lemon.
And I've got some kind of egg salad and little chips. It's quite a lot here actually. And a sauce. I don't know what it is, but an empty cup.
And all of this came to €21.80. Clean plates, that's a good sign. How was yours?
That was definitely the best salad I've had in a long time. I do love a Greek salad, but I'm a bit, after nearly 3 months in Greece, I'm kind of over the same taste of just a lump of feta with a bit of lettuce and cucumber. So it was really nice to actually have a proper salad with like carrots and tomatoes and iceberg lettuce and some sweet corn. Oh, just a bit of variety. Really good. Good job, Blue Star Ferries, on your food choices.
My chicken fillet and chips was good, so I'll give it a solid 7 out of 10.
So it's just after 8 p.m. and we've had dinner and we've still got a good 3.5 hours left of our ferry journey. So we were just going over a few things that we have liked about our time here in Greece.
Just reminiscing over our trip.
We've been here for 2.5 months and we've been to a couple of islands, and we've also been to Athens briefly and Pireas. So we just thought, from what we've seen, we'll answer a few questions.
So, question number 1, what was your favourite beach?
So my favourite beach in Kefalonia was not actually Myrtos Bay or Antisamos, one of the big famous ones, because unfortunately they got a bit ruined by the Hurricane Inus that happened while we were there. But I really love Makrisialos. We had to actually Google it because I couldn't remember what it was called, but it was just a nice, lovely little beach, and it had the most lovely taverna called Costa Costa, and it was just beautiful. I had the most delicious fruit salad there when we were there, and just the sand was really soft. You could just walk straight into the water. It was so
crystal clear water.
Yeah.
One that I really liked was one I hadn't been to before in the north of the island called Alatis Beach. There's a lovely little cove. It was a small beach and there were a few people on there, but the snorkeling there.
Oh, that's our snorkeling day.
Yeah, the underwater life. And I love that part of Kefalonia. The northern part of Kefalonia is beautiful. Okay, next question.
Strong choice.
So what was your favourite town out of our trip?
Again, I'm gonna go with Kefalonia, a little fishing village, Fiscado. It's just cute and beautiful. When we went there, it was a nice amount of busy. I'm sure it gets really busy in peak season, but it was just lovely. Cute, lovely places to eat and drink, and just a beautiful little harbour.
Beautiful little cove, marina. You've got lots of fishing and sailing boats there, and just restaurants and tavernas circling around the edge. Yeah,
we had lovely service there as well, so that all helps, doesn't it? And your favourite town so far in Greece?
I think I'm gonna have to go with maybe a bit more of an obvious one. I've not been to Santorini before. Oia was just spectacular. It is a really beautiful place, and the caldera of Santorini is just dramatic, and the white and blue, mainly white buildings, but you know, the blue domes and the black rock, and then the sea. Stunning. So question number 3, one thing you like most about the trip?
The thing I really, really love about Greece is I generally just love the Greek food. I've enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And what do you like the most?
From what we've seen on this trip is the diversity of Greece. I've seen a lot of Greek islands that look very Greek, but going to Santorini, it's just something that's completely different.
I'd agree with that.
I've been to volcanoes, but not one in the middle of the sea, and
that's still
literally
active.
Civilizations that have been living on it for eras and eras. Just a life that's been made essentially on a volcano that's partially collapsed into the ocean.
That was insane.
It's mental. And something that I really loved about the black sand beaches of Santorini is when you were snorkeling, and because it's very rocky, the sea is crystal clear, and you get the shimmer of the black sand. It kind of just twinkles like diamonds. The next question, things you like the least?
We have a strong example of it today, that I do think the Greeks like to overcomplicate things unnecessarily. Every time we've attempted to get a ferry or have any kind of travel here in Greece, it's been way more confusing than it needs to be. We've dealt with several hire car companies, several ferry companies, and it's all been way more complicated than we find it to be in other places, is what I'd say. So the processes could be a bit smoother. What about you?
The thing I like the least is the amount of trash. So we came through Athens airport from Kefalonia going to Santorini. We saw that big billboard that said Santorini, the island where plastic is not welcome. And when we got there, there's a lot of trash and plastic everywhere, I'm afraid. Oia, you would look over a wall and there was trash there. The bins and things weren't sealed or contained, so there it just blows away. So they really need to get a grip on the trash issue and take it seriously, because it is a massive problem these days. Final question, so what was your favourite moment from Greece?
My favourite moment, or my favourite day, was the day that we drove over to Alatis Beach, and we just arrived after driving for like an hour. This is in Kefalonia. We were in the car for about an hour. We drove to the other side of the island, the north side of the island. We didn't really know what to expect, and there was a couple of beaches, and we were like, which one should we go to? And we just went down there, hoped there'd be somewhere to get some food, and wow, it was just the loveliest little restaurant. Turned out it hadn't been open 3 months, and it was just done beautifully. And then we just literally walked straight into the water, tiny little cove, and it was just the easiest snorkeling, and it was just a glorious sunny day. So I'm going to say my favourite moment, that's kind of a favourite afternoon, evening. How about you?
I'm going to be cheeky and have 2. So my first one was going back to Lake Melisani. I just think that is spectacular and beautiful. If you can pick a sunny day and get there for about 10 to 11 a.m. and the sun rays just coming into the cave and the crystal clear stunning blue water, it's like azure water, it's beautiful. And my second favourite was going across to Santorini volcano, and something that you don't see many people do actually in Santorini. You see all these pictures of Oya and some of Thera
on Instagram,
but you don't see much of people going across to the actual volcano,
that's like really
in the centre
cool
of the caldera.
Yeah, where else in the world can you go and see an active volcano and swim in the hot springs and put the volcanic mud on your face?
So there you go, there's our questions, and I think we're going to get on with some editing now.
That kind of summarises our time here. It's been awesome.
Our time so far. We don't know if it's going to be over yet or not.
We're nearly back in Athens after all these weeks. That's Athens on the horizon there, the twinkling lights. So you go into the port of Pireas, and then Athens is just a relatively short drive from there. So depending on what happens when we get to the port, we're not sure what's going to happen with the authorities. We've got an Airbnb booked tonight, and as long as we've got freedom, we plan to get an Uber to our Airbnb, and then hopefully we can stay in Athens for a few nights, but let's see what happens.
So we've just been told over the tannoy that we have to go to the customer information desk to get a form, because we're arriving in Athens after the curfew. Obviously this ferry can't go any earlier than it has. We've got to fill in a form to justify why we're out in Athens after curfew. So this should be interesting.
Oh, wrong page. Wrong page. That's my passport. Thank you. Perfect. Thank you so much.
Time to make our way to Athens. Very slowly at the moment.
Back here again.
Yay, our bags are still here. Back in Athens, time to try and get to our accommodation. Wish us luck.
So after all that fuss at Santorini ferry port, I'm not gonna lie, we were expecting to get off the ferry just then and to be checked, temperature checked, or security checking passports, but there was absolutely nothing. And here we are, we're in Athens, and we're gonna order an Uber. Ordering an Uber, and it is confirmed. Fantastic. Completely empty. 9 o'clock's the curfew, so everyone's at home, but we've raced away from the ferry port so as not to get hassled by taxi drivers. Here's our Uber.
That was a cat. It's okay, cat. So we've just arrived, and another bombshell, we've just found out that you're only allowed one person in a taxi. That's the current rules because of COVID. We are like one person, we're not going to go in separate taxis.
Yeah, we can't, but we've made it.
Yeah, here. Kirsty's found the lockbox.
We just get off the street before we do get questioned.
Yes. The blue label is in the box.
And then it's the second door on the left, right?
Oh, second door on the left. Have you ever seen the streets of Athens so quiet? It is 20 to midnight, but look at this. Crazy times.
We made it. We only booked ourselves one night because we thought we might have to leave Athens tomorrow.
So we didn't want to waste more money.
Yeah, we didn't want to waste more money, and obviously we wanted to stick to the rules if we had to leave Athens. So we were prepared to leave Athens. But it turns out it's absolutely fine and we can stay in Athens. However, unfortunately, this apartment is booked now, so we're going to have to move in the morning.
So for now, this is home sweet home until 11 o'clock tomorrow morning. I feel quite funny saying this, but I hope you've enjoyed the video.
Yeah. We're not usually this negative.
Give it a like and please subscribe.
It's not been
Why
the best
not?
day today.
All you have to do is click. That was a stressful travel day.
Yeah. Got ourselves a little kitchen, which has got everything you need, kettle for the morning, cooker, which we're not going to need the cooker because we're only here for one night and it's midnight now. We ate on the boat. A little table, which I was thinking would be good as a desk for us to work from, but actually I'm kind of glad not, because there wouldn't be much space if we're sitting here working, trying to cook. So we probably do need to move to somewhere bigger anyway. It's got a nice decent sized fridge freezer, so that's always a bonus, which is what I saw on the pictures and I thought that looked good. Bedroom's nice, it's fine. That just a bit soft actually. Nice size room, okay. TV, which we never get to watch. Yeah, it's compact. It's cute, it's got everything you need, but you literally have to climb over the toilet to get into the shower. So yeah, I think we'll definitely move somewhere a bit bigger. I guess this is city living, right? It's got a shower.
Oh no, it's a shower without a hook.
Exactly, I was going to say, I'm not too disappointed that we can't extend it. I don't think we would be extending anyway. It's nice, but for one night only. Just noticed something funny about the bathroom. I'm really small, I'm like less than 5'3", and look, my knees can't really get any taller. I don't see how you're going to go. If you're any taller than 5'3", I don't think you can go to the toilet. Also, kick the bin. Hope you enjoyed our little tour of our new apartment for one night.
Anyway, thanks for watching. See you next time.
See you next time when we'll be happier, we promise.
Yeah, we promise. And hopefully we'll be showing you Athens.
Yes.
But who knows. Ciao for now.
Join us next time as we explore ancient Athens and take in these panoramic views of the Greek capital city. If you can't wait that long, head over to our Instagram at @TideNotTravellers for daily updates on what we're currently up to and what's coming up in our future videos.
Pulling up the pedestrian ramp and we're like, hang on a second, our boats are still on the ferry.
This is how stressed we are.
Oh my word.
Didn't actually get to go onto Myrtos Bay because of the earthquake. It was shut.
Because of the hurricane.
Sorry, because we've been in so many different natural disasters. There's an earthquake in Santorini, so I'm getting confused. Ruined by the hurricane.
By Hurricane Athinios.
Yes, unfortunately. I mean,
Κυρίες και κύριοι, η χρήση προστατευτικής μάσκας είναι υποχρεωτική καθ' όλη τη διάρκεια του πλοίου. Καλό σας ταξίδι. Ladies and gentlemen, the use of a protective mask is mandatory for the duration of the trip in all indoor and outdoor areas of the vessel. Enjoy your trip.
So, completely. What was it? Where did I say? The thing I really, really love about Greece is, I have to pick just one thing. I love the weather.
Yeah.
Is that a bit of a weak answer?
Yeah.